Hello kids. For this week, topic number 2 is about water cycle. We will remember the main points of this lesson. Before we start with solving exercises to remember the main ideas of this lesson, I would like you to watch the following videos and check activity number 2 and read your Unit D book from page 292 to page 297. Let us start with this slide. Over here we can see that water can be in three different forms, or we can say water can be in three different states: solid, liquid, and gas. And the nice thing is that I can change the state and I can let the water to switch from one state to another. We will focus on the two states that they are, the liquid and the gas. We can change from liquid to gas by heating the water. We all know that when you heat the water, we will start to see like small or a kind of smoke coming out of the water. We call it the water vapor. And this process, we call it evaporation, simply because we are adding heat or we are letting the temperature to be higher. Now we can switch this process by changing from gas and back to its liquid state. But to do that, we need to cool down this water vapor, and we will start to see some water drops. For example, you can do it at home. You can bring a pot, put some water, of course you need the supervision of an adult next to you. You can put the pot on fire and you can start to see the bubbles. And when these bubbles start to form, then cover this pot and then open the cover and you will see some water droplets on the cover. This is because the water vapor will start to rise, and when it rises, it will touch this cover and it will start to cool down and forming again water. So we call it condensation. So over here we have liquid and the red arrow, then gas. Then we have a gas with a blue arrow. The red arrow means that we are heating the liquid, and when we heat the liquid, I will have a change from the liquid state to the gaseous state, and we call it evaporation. Whereas this gas, when I start to cool it down, it will again be in a liquid state, and we call it condensation. So please, we need to know the difference between these two words, evaporation and condensation. So the change from liquid to gas, we call it evaporation, and the change from gas to liquid, we call it condensation. Why we are taking these two words? Because they are very important for the water cycle, and this is the water cycle. Let me explain it briefly. We have here the sea. As you can see, the water of the sea is under the sun, and the sun's heat will start to warm up the water. And we all know that when the water is warmed and it's become hot, it will start to change into the gaseous form. So here the liquid water will start to rise as a gas, and we call it water vapor. This water vapor, as you can see, will start to rise up to the atmosphere up, and in the sky it will start to cool down. When it starts to cool down, it will change into water droplets, and they will start to form the clouds that we all know. So a cloud is made up of tiny water droplets that came from the water vapor. Now this cloud over here, and when we have a cloud, this means that we're having condensation. So the clouds, as you can see, the word the cloud starts with C. Condensation starts also with C, and cools down starts with C. So remember these clues. So when I have the clouds will be full of water droplets. But the clouds cannot hold these water droplets for a long time. When it becomes so heavy, it will rain, as you can see in this part of the picture. But not only rain can come from the clouds, also snow that we are all familiar with, and also sleet and hail that we studied in topic number 1. Sleet is the frozen ice, and it's a mixture of snow and rain at the same time. And hail is the big balls of ice that fall only when we have a thunderstorm. So all of these four kinds that fall from the clouds, we call them precipitation. And when precipitation occurs, we will have the snow, for example, on mountains. And the snow will not stay on mountains for a long period of time. They will start to melt. And when they melt, they will flow off the mountains. And when they flow off or flow back, they need to flow back to the place where they started from. So they will flow back to the seas, to the rivers, to the lakes, to the ponds, and so on. But I need you to keep in mind that not all water flow back to the sea. Some water will go under the ground and they will form groundwater, and I'm sure that you are all familiar with that because we studied it in the lesson. So this is the water cycle. As you can see, the water cycle, it's like a circle. It's continuous. It never stops simply because we have the sun. And because of the sun, we have the water cycle. So let's see now. Step number 1. What's happening over here? We have here the water changing from a liquid to a gas, which we call it the water vapor. And the change from liquid to gas, what do we call it? Do we call it condensation, precipitation, flow off, or evaporation? We call it evaporation. Over here, this hot water vapor will start to cool down, and it will again be water drops. So what do we call this process, the change from gas to liquid? Condensation, precipitation, or flow off? We call it condensation, forming clouds. Now, as you can see, the next step, when the clouds will be full of water, it will start to fall, and anything that falls from the clouds, any type of water that falls from the clouds, what do we call it? Precipitation or flow off? We call it precipitation. And the last step of the water cycle is when the water flow off back to the water bodies. For example, the seas, the oceans, and the rivers, for example. Now, we will see some severe storms, or they are very dangerous storms. We have the tornado, we have the blizzard, we have the thunderstorms, and we have the hurricanes. I will look at these pictures and they will help me a lot to know the sentence that describes this picture. For example, the tornado. As you can see, the tornado is like a funnel and it is rotating winds. Can you see that the winds, they are very strong and they start to rotate around itself and it spins. That's why it's called a tornado. So let's see which sentence describes tornado. Storm with thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. Strong rotating winds that form over land. Strong rotating winds that form over the ocean, or storm with lots of snow. Let's see. We can see that the tornado is happening on land over here. So basically they are rotating strong winds that form over the land. So I will write number 1 next to this sentence. Now the second one is called the blizzard. As you can see, the picture of this storm is showing plenty of snow. So we can see that the snow covers most of the place and it has extremely cold weather. So let's see which sentence describes this kind of storm. Storm with thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. Strong rotating winds that form over the ocean, or storm with lots of snow. So let's see. Of course it's snow. So number 2 is over here. Now number 3, it's the thunderstorms. Let's look. Oh, we have lightning, we have thunder, we have thick clouds, we have heavy rain, and we can hear the thunder. It's so strong. So let's see which sentence describes this storm. Storm with thunder, lightning, and heavy rain, or strong rotating winds that form over the ocean. It is the lightning one and the thunder. Now the hurricanes. Hurricanes, they are also also rotating winds, but as you can see, they form over the ocean. So it's over here. They are strong rotating winds that form over the oceans. So these are the severe weather storms. No need to be afraid of, because most of them, they don't happen in our countries. So stay safe and stay at home. Thank you so much.